Greetings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is Marcia coming at you from Williston, Florida. It's a beautiful sunshiny day here in Florida today, and it's a perfect day to get moving because it's Monday. So, first off, I'm going to sit down a minute and I want to talk to you all a little bit about meridians, which are energy lines that run through our bodies, and they're used by acupuncturists. It comes from ancient Chinese medicine, and they're energy points that run through our body. And the couple of exercises I'm going to show you today are really, really, really helpful at opening up and circulating your liver meridian. And believe it or not, your L1, liver 1 acupuncture point is in your feet, right in between your big toe and the second toe, right in there in that valley. And as I press on mine, it's actually sore. So for me to do exercises that open up and circulate energy all the way down to my liver 1, or kidney 1, excuse me, I keep saying liver, and it's kidney that the meridian opens. And your kidney 1 is the one that starts right here in between your great toe and the second toe. And it runs up through your body. And we're going to learn a couple of exercises today that are really good at getting the circulation flowing through your kidney meridian. So with that said, I'm going to put my chair out of the way. And we'll get going here. So, first off, always remember, let's get in our happy space. Let's be focused and mindful. Get in your good Wuji position, which is arms a little bit out, your knees bent. You relax your tailbone down so you feel kind of bottom heavy and your top feels lighter. Standing this way actually stretches your lower back a little bit without it being too overpronounced. And it opens up all the vertebrae in your spine. So to begin with, let's get in Wuji. And this first thing I'm going to show you is called the bow and arrow stance. And it's just a way to get ready to learn how to shift your feet for the 2 exercises I'm going to show you. So to begin with, we have Wuji. Our feet are about shoulder width apart. And now we're going to lean left so that actually I can pick up my right leg. It's all free from weight. You don't have to pick it up. You don't need to pick it up. But what you do need to do is shift your weight left and then take a step out to the right and angle your foot at about 45 degrees. And then come back in and then shift your weight the other way and put your other foot out at about 30 to 45 degrees. Come back in, shift your weight, come back in, shift your weight, come back in, shift your weight. And when you do this, basically I'll do it sideways, maybe you can see better. But when you're doing this, I'm leaning left, I'm turning my toe inward a little bit. And now when you look at my feet, my toes are basically pointing the same direction. My heels are pretty much in line. But this position allows me to shift my weight and keep my balance. I mean, even when we walk, there's a point when all of our weight is solidly on one leg, even if it's just for an instant. So again, Wuji, step out. Step in. Step out. Step in. Step out. Step in. Step out. Shift your weight. Step in. Shift your weight. Step out. So just to get a feel for that movement, that kind of rocking back and forth movement, and to get a feel for empty leg, full weight leg. Empty, full. So with that in mind now, I'm going to show you an exercise. It's called rhinoceros looking at the moon. And for this one, again, we get in our wuji. We always smile from the heart. And our arms are out. And as we lean to the left, we shift our weight right. And then kind of lean your weight forward on that front foot. Now come back in and shift and turn the other way. Now here's a trick. The bigger you step out, the more of a twist you're going to feel in your spine. And that's what we're looking for here, that nice twist in your spine, almost like if a chiropractor were going to adjust you. But please keep in mind, don't do a hard chiropractic adjustment in this move. It's very gentle. So turn. Turn. And you can see my front arm. My palm is towards my heart. The back palm is kind of down or back. And as you get used to this, you can get more into the flow of the movement. But at first go slow and break it up into parts if you need to, so that you really feel this bow and arrow stance, because that's the trick to these two exercises that I'm showing you. And breathing, you're going to inhale as you come in. But now one thing about this exercise is that when you come out and step out, you're going to do some little easy tugs and twists. And on each one of those little outward twists, you're going to exhale. And this feels really good. And I'll tell you something about these two exercises too that is so helpful to me, being a side sleeper. I sleep on my side a lot, once in a while on my back, not on my stomach because it twists my neck out too badly. But being a side sleeper, sometimes my spine goes out on this angle, the side being flat on the mattress. And what that does is it puts my SI joints out of whack. And your SI joints are right here. SI stands for sacroiliac joint. So it's the space where your sacrum, which is kind of heart-shaped, triangular shape, articulates with your iliac crest. So these 2 points in my back often pop out of place. And this twisting exercise is very good if I do it gently for getting them back into alignment. And that's nice, especially right now since my chiropractor quit using my insurance and I have to pay a self-pay. It's nice to know these exercises that will help me keep my spine in proper alignment. So let's just review. Rhinoceros looks at the moon one more time. I'm in Wuji. I step out. I twist. Ah, yeah. Feel that good twist in your T-spine. Come back in. Shift your weight. Twist the other way. And those little exhalations when you're twisting a few times gently really help to open up your joint spaces. So that is Rhinoceros looking at the moon. And I love the names that Qigong comes up with, but I'm not quite sure why they picked a rhinoceros looking at the moon when I can't imagine that in my own head, but whatever. I like the name, it's poetic. So now the next exercise I'm going to show you is kind of similar, but there are definite differences in the shift of our weight and what we're doing here. So this one is called wag head, shake tail. And you've probably heard me or seen me do an exercise with the same name called wagtail or wag head, shake tail, or shake head, wagtail, shake head, wagtail. But it's not the same as this one. A lot of times in Qigong, they had all these names, and as the art progressed, they go, oh, that's a cool exercise, but I found this other cool thing that I can do that's very similar. I'm just going to use the same name, even though it's a different name or a different exercise. So don't worry so much about the name, just pay attention to the movements. So this one, again, we start in Wuji, and I'm going to lean left, and I'm going to step back a little bit with my foot on that 45-degree angle as I turn. But this time I'm keeping my weight balanced evenly. I'm not leaning on that forward leg so much. My weight is evenly balanced. And you'll see as I come around, my front hand is facing my heart. The back of my hand is touching my back here. This is called your Ming Mong. It's in line with your belly buttons in front. So it's an important part of our energy process, moving our energy. So that's why we want to get a good kind of tap placement there. But this time, don't lean forward. Your knee is bent, but not over your toe. And your back leg is straight this time. This is how you get the really good stretch with your back leg straightened out. Not locked straight, don't ever lock, but straight compared to my front leg, which has my knee right over my toes. So let's try this from the front. So I'm going to lean to the right, and I'm going to step out and back to my left, and I'm going to turn. Which way do you turn your head? Always away from your stinky armpit. That's the rule of thumb. So come in, step out, come in, step out and back. The same thing. These little nudges. with an exhalation on each little nudge. And it doesn't matter how many times you do those little exhalations. Usually I do them 3, maybe 4 times. You can do them as many as is comfortable for you. But the main trick in both of these exercises is to start to feel comfortable with this stance where you're shifting your weight. Ah. Rhinoceros, the weight's on your front leg. The shake head, wag tail, the weight is evenly distributed, and you step back a little bit, not just sideways, but just back and sideways a little bit. So back, turn. My back leg is straight. My left knee is over my left toe. The back of my palm is patting my Ming Meng. So there, we have 2 exercises that really help twist your spine gently, open up your kidney meridian, and really help open up all the disc spaces in your spine, especially down here in your hips and your SI joints. If you can get a nice big step and turn, you'll feel that stretch down there in your spine even more. But start slow, start easy. Until you get comfortable with a saddle stance, bow and arrow position. If you think about it, like that's what you do when you're going to shoot a bow and arrow, isn't it? That's the idea. And so when we step back and to the right, our body is facing this diagonal. And then we come back in and change. Our body is actually facing the other diagonal as we twist. So there we have a couple of very good exercises that I know we've concentrated on the spine and the hips and opening up those SI joints. But the point in me showing you these 2 exercises is that, trust me, it's opening up your kidney meridian. And the very start of your kidney meridian is between your great toe and the toe next to it on each foot. So it starts all the way down here and goes up our bodies. So I hope that helps you. I hope you get a feel for that shifting weight and how to turn. And I hope you see the difference between the 2, where the first one I showed you is stepping out basically just to your side and turning, coming back in, turning the other way. The first one I showed you is you're stepping back more. And as you do this, it'll start to feel more natural and you'll get into a good flow. And your T-spine, your L-spine, and your neck will all thank you because the whole spine is getting a nice gentle twist, like you're gently wringing out a sponge or a rag, very, very gently. Again, don't do hard chiropractic adjustment movements with this. Everything in Qigong and Tai Chi is gentle, gentle as can be, gentle as a baby. So keep that in mind. Practice this week. We'll come back next week. Well, actually, next week, I think we're going to have a guest on because I have doctor appointments. But we'll come back to this and we'll continue on. So, all of my PAD warriors, all of my Tai Chi and Qigong enthusiasts, I bless you. Have a super day.